Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my shop. Welcome. Today I'm going to do a short little video. I'm going to help a couple people out, and I decided to go ahead and just make a little short video about it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pulling this distributor off my old 216 that came in the 49 Chevy when I pulled it out of the barn. I got this thing running, and I actually had the head rebuilt, did some other work to it. And I put about 20,000 miles on this thing before I decided it was time to pull it while it was still rebuildable, which it still is. But anyway, I'm going to pull the distributor, and to get a part off of it, I'm going to help out this Eagle Scout, and then I'm going to also help out another fellow in showing how I remove and replace a distributor so I can either work on the distributor or make it easier to set the points and do all the other stuff. Stay tuned, and let's get busy with this short dude. All right, I'm going to zoom in here real quick to show, but basically the three tools you'll need is, now this is a stock 216, so and most 235s will be the same, but for the tie down the bolt that ties down the distributor to the block, 1/2-inch wrench. The bolt that secures the vacuum line to the vacuum advance unit, 3/8-inch wrench. And the nut that secures the coil wire to the distributor, 11/32. So anyway, and there's several ways to do this, but first what you want to do is to find your top dead center. All right, now I just realized that I don't have my bell housing nor flywheel on this engine, so, and that's important to have to find the top dead center. So we're just going to go through the motions to show how, before you pull that distributor, you want to put the distributor to where it's firing the #1 cylinder, and you want your timing mark, which will be a BB embedded in the flywheel. You want it to show on a pointer on the bell housing. I could either show you on my 235, or I could show you back where I got those parts laid back. But what we're going to do is right now I'm going to show you how to bring #1 cylinder up on the compression stroke. All right, so hold on. All right, this is my foolproof method, and I failed to mention you also need to remove your #1 plug. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, that plug still looks pretty good for when I parked it. Alright, we'll just set that off to the side. Now what you want to do is put, alright, #1, trace your spark plug leads out. Here's your #1 spark plug wire. Alright, now this is the same for pretty much any 6-cylinder. Trace it back to your distributor, and note where it appears on the distributor cap right here. All right, sometimes it's easy or handy to even put a mark on the distributor to line up to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a mark right here. All right. What I did is I put a little dot right underneath the number 1. All right. So we're going to pop the cap off and get it out of the way. And for this case, I'm just going to take it off. All right, just get it out of the way. All right, now you see the rotor here button. It's pretty much pointing to that dot because I've pulled this before and I know that I was up on number 1. But for these purposes, I'm going to go ahead and turn the engine. All right. You can sometimes, depending upon how much compression you have, it will determine how easy it is to turn an engine. Sometimes you may have to remove all your spark plugs to turn it easy. In this case, we're all right. All right, this is my foolproof method. I'm taking a real thin piece of napkin, all right? What I'm going to do is put it up, I'm going to cover the hole with it, all right? Now, that'll blow out or move enough when this comes up on its compression stroke. And looking at the position of this rotor, I can tell it's real close to the dot I made showing where it was lined up to number 1. So let's see what happens. You see it started coming out, all right? So basically what it did is the cylinder blew it out, okay? Now if I look at my dot here, I see my rotor is still not lined up. So I know I need to go align this rotor with that dot and I'll know I'll be at top dead center. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my finger or my thumb over the hole and I can feel that it's going to try to push my thumb out of the way, which it is. You can hear it. You hear that? All right, now I'm at top dead center. Now, like I say, I don't have my bell housing nor my flywheel mounted, so what you'd want to do next, now that I got that lined up, you'll have your pointer coming down on your timing hole and a BB on the flywheel. So I'll show a close-up real quick on the 235 here. Okay, now I'm zooming in down here as close as I can get. All right. Right here where my finger's pointing, and I can't get it over anymore. This is just a terrible place to put it. But anyway, this hole right here, there's a pointer in the starter. Well, it just is not going to. There we go. You can kind of see it there. There, right here. And there's the pointer right here where my finger's touching it. The BB will align right up to it, and you're at the very top dead center then. All right? And it's right down there is where I was at. Okay. Okay. This is the old 26. This is the old flywheel on 216. Here's the BB right here. That UC mark actually means upper center. On the 216, the BB is actually 5 degrees before top dead center. On some of the old 235s, that BB would be behind the UC. It would be 2 degrees after top dead center. UC is the exact top dead center, all right? Now this is the bell housing, all right? And I want you to see, there's the pointer, all right? That I really couldn't show you. All right, that's the old 216 bell housing. So anyway, hopefully that'll help. All right, at this point, we have got the engine set up to be firing on the number 1 cylinder. We know that because we got compression through the number 1 plug hole. We've got our rotor button lined up to the mark we made on the distributor base. And we got the BB lined up either on the pointer or we've got the UC mark lined up on the pointer. Either one's okay, okay? It's UC is the actual top dead center. The BB is actually a timing mark that you normally use. All right, so now, since we're set up, we're going to remove the distributor. Get my wrenches. All right, first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the electrical wire that would come from the coil, which I don't have installed. But that's what this little wire here is for. Now, I'm going to leave it on the distributor, all right? So, but you would, using the 11/32, you would remove that wire from the distributor, all right? Now, using the 3/8, remove the vacuum line that comes from the carburetor. This is how the vacuum advance is actuated, all right? There we go. Now, the distributor is the only thing left holding it. Now, there's two ways you could go about doing this. You can use the adjustment screw here, loosen it, and you leave the whole vacuum advance unit on, and you can lift the distributor out, or you can take this 1/2-inch bolt here, take it out, and the whole unit will come up, and that's what I'm going to do. So, and this is the octane selector. Back in the day, octane gas that you purchase at different stations, the octane levels could vary. And what Chevrolet did is they put an easy adjustment here to where you can adjust your timing to best suit the octane level of the tank of gas you got. Now, if you got good high octane, you can advance it more. If it's low octane, you need to retard it. And I'll show you, it's got graduations on it. Now, also, I want you to notice, when I pull the distributor up, you will notice the rotor button will turn, all right? So watch, I'm pulling it up. You see how much it turned clockwise. So when you go to install this back, what you want to do is start it at that and watch. Drops right back down to the mark. All right, so we pull it up, and there we go. And there's your distributor right there, okay? And this tang actually is real close to lining up. Well, on one distributor I had, that tang lined up with the rotor button, how it points, but this didn't. So now, to put this back, let's say you want to service the points or the capacitor, all right, or change anything out. To put it back, you want to take it back, all right, start it down, sort in the position you had it, like notice that was almost straight out. Now turn your rotor to where you thought it was when you pulled it. All right, now drop it down. If it goes all the way down, which you'll feel it, and it aligns with your mark, you're in. Now you got to be careful. All right, so let's say you pull it up, all right, and you start it way over here. All right, it will only go down so far. All right. The reason being is this tang has got to engage a slot in the oil pump. As a matter of fact, the cam drives this gear and this tang drives the oil pump. So if you don't have that fully seated in the oil pump, okay, and you start the engine, probably enough of the teeth will catch this and it'll turn and it may even start. But if it's not all the way down, it's not engaging the oil pump, you're going to run without oil pressure. You know what happens to an engine without oil pressure. Not good. So anyway, so go to put him back in, align your tang up about where it pulled up. You can even make a mark if you want to, and drop it. And you can feel it go all the way down. You can look here, you can see it's all the way down, and you're good to go. All right? All right, I've got the distributor chucked up in the vise. Now what we want to do to set to make sure we get the points, you notice there's 6 lobes on this cam. What you want to do is check sideways, push in each direction. If you can push it and you even see that arm move any, your bushings are wore out. You're never going to get your points set right anyway. You're going to need to either have it rebuilt or replaced. Either try to find a good rebuilt one or buy a new aftermarket, okay? So anyway, make sure there's no side play. Now what you want to do is turn it until the rubbing block is on the tip. Well, I'm up against my, let's move it out just a hair. There we go. Okay, it was locked down. I couldn't turn it. Okay, here we go. Turn it to where the rubbing block is on the top of one of those 6 peaks, all right? And you can see the point gap is open. Now what I'm going to do, I've got I got an 18 thousandths and a 22. I'm going to try a 22 first. And there's play. A lot of play with 22. So that means there's definitely going to be a lot of play with 18. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust it to 18. All right? Now you got these 2 screws. All right? This screw locks the plate, and this is like a cam, all right? So just unlock, loosen it, but don't, not too much. And you can use this one to open or close the points, all right? See, it moves. Now, what I'm wanting to do, since this is used, I'm going to set to 18 thousandths. And that's just about perfect. You want to feel drag, but you don't want to see this arm move when you slide it through, okay? It moved just a hair, so I'm going to bring it out just a little bit. Just a hair, okay? Now, I've done a video on this before, all right? Now, what will happen is when I tighten this down, it may open up 2 thousandths. So we'll see, all right? So I'm going to tighten it down. And let's see what happened. Actually, it closed up, looks like. No, it didn't. That's still perfect. All right, it did not move. 22 is too thick. You see the arm will move when I push it down in there. So 18, that's perfect. I just have some drag, but the arm is not moving. That's where you want it. And that's how easy it is to set the points in a vise outside the engine. Anyway, hopefully you find that helpful. Way back in the day, I did a little, I worked in a mechanic shop when I first got out of the Marines. And one of the engines that you always had to pull the distributor out of to do the tune-up on was the old Mopar Slant 6. The engine slanted this way and the distributor was down underneath. Now, if you're really dexterous, you could do the points in it, but the easiest thing to do would be to set up your engine for number 1 top dead cylinder, do your markings, pull the distributor and do your points in the condenser, outside the engine in a vise, and then reinstall it, because you're going to retime it anyway. You know, there's a 50% possibility that once you put it back to the marks you make, that it's going to be in the perfect time and you don't have to adjust it. You know, but if you get anywhere in the ballpark, let's say if you're within 10 degrees, either advanced or retarded from top dead center, your engine more than likely will start. It won't run too good if it's not timed correctly, but it'll at least start and run where you can hook your timing light up to it and get it timed. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. This old 216 engine, I do plan on, well, I would like to rebuild it one day and put it back in that Chevy truck, the 49 that it came in on, to get it back to original. But I'm telling you the truth, that probably may not happen in my lifetime. But I'm not going to get rid of it. It'll sit here, and we'll go from there. But I am parting with a part of the distributor. I'm helping this Eagle Scout out. who a young fella and his dad are redoing a 49, and they are really doing a good job. And well, a previous owner who he bought the thing from, for some odd reason, took the vacuum advance off the distributor, and it's lost a history. I'm gonna help him out. All right. So anyway, hope this is helpful to all you all that may need to see this. When you set your points, brand new points, set them to 22 thousandths. Okay. If they're used, check them. If they're between 22 and 18, that's fine. Okay, because 18 is where you would set a used set. Okay. What happens when you set the new set to 22 thousandths, the rubbing block, you know, which is some fibrous material, it wears, and so do the surfaces of the points. So the gap can close. If the surfaces of the points wear more than the rubbing block, the gap will actually widen. Okay, but if it closes, which is normal, and it gets to 18, that's where you want it to be. So otherwise, any other questions, just let me know. So, hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going good here. Can't complain. Won't do me no good to complain anyway. Just carry on, take care of the business, and when I do need to release some steam, just go do some hoot and holler and then come back and take care of it. So have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See you.